Returning from the days of Medarot 5, who has absolutely shaken up the meta of Medarot S ever since her debut, it is PRC-0F Otogi Princess, with a kit of Resurrect, Restore, All Restore, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Barrier, which grants guard boost to self when charging Metaforce. Now, normally healing skills have been kind of a point of contention with players, not just of Medarot S, but also mostly any kind of game in the Medarot series, or even RPGs or JRPGs just in general. It has been a rather interesting point of contention. On one hand, healers are valuable to have around just for the sake of having them as a backup or as a just in case. But on the other hand, they do end up taking a slot on the team, which could be used towards either a shield or an ailment or even another nuke skill, and does kind of lower the team's overall or total damage output. However, Otogi Princess has taken all of this in stride and basically made it very clear that even though she's a healer, she's going to be very, very good at it. Head as Resurrect means that any fallen ally on the field can be brought back at 10% HP to all parts, which means already at start, you want to make sure that if she is on the opposing side, that you take out Otogi Princess first, because that Resurrect is going to mean that if you take down the enemy nuker first, that next turn she's going to come right back and revive it, and it's going to come back right to where it was before. Right Arm Restore is just a simple healing skill that restores a single broken part on the opponent back at 10% HP. All Restore, on the other hand, is a step up, where it restores one broken part to each team member, including herself, also back at 10% HP on the field. So while she doesn't have conventional healing as in to restore lost HP, Otogi Princess's role very, very dominantly is to guarantee that they can at least keep all their parts active, as usually having them at almost no HP is better than having them not at all. And in the case where a nuker goes down quickly, Otogi Princess is able to bring them back relatively quickly to ensure that they can keep going, even in a state of, for lack of a better term, extreme pain. On top of that, Float Legs mean that she has very solid terrain bonus on any terrain at A rank, and the leg ability of Barrier means that once that's applied with the guard boost, she's going to be taking significantly less damage to herself when people try to go taking her out. So arguably one of the best ways to use Otogi Princess is to first charge Metaforce on that first turn to get guard boost active, and then usually just swap into Restore or All Restore or even revive a fallen ally as needed, and then use her maybe as a passive Metaforce spammer, either for support skills or that occasional nuke. As a pure set score, I'd honestly rate her a 7 out of 10, not primarily for the fact that she has a very powerful kit or she has some nuke skill, but primarily because as a healer, she's very, very good at what she does. And as mentioned, she has absolutely shaken up the meta with the application of using healing skills on the team, or even just using one of her parts. Very, very solid to have all around. Revive especially is going to be very useful in PvP, where if your nuker gets down quickly, this allows you to make a very quick jump and comeback to keep from anything potentially crippling any strategies that you're coming up against. As a mixed part score, I'd rate her just a little bit higher, an 8.5 out of 10. The reason I rate her pure set score just a little lower is because even though she is designated as a healer, she is incapable of restoring lost HP. She can only restore lost parts or a fallen ally, which means that even after someone is brought back or a part is brought back into operation, it's going to make it very easy to kill again because it's sitting at that 10% HP. However, if you use Otogi Princess for mixed parts and add, for instance, replace the right arm for a standard repair skill which heals lost HP, then her viability as a healer tremendously goes up, because now she can restore lost parts, revive fallen allies, and restore lost HP, which adds another skill that she can do on her turns when there's no parts that need to be restored or any allies that need to be resurrected.